Parents, let's be honest, most of us are busy, tired, and sometimes just plain lazy when it comes to money. Between work, kids, and life's chaos, who has time to become a financial expert? But here's the shocking truth. You don't need to be a genius or a hustler to set your child up for generational wealth. In fact, with the right autopilot plan, you can lock in a future worth hundreds of thousands of dollars with almost no effort. Forget complicated spreadsheets or Wall Street jargon. This is the 3-step lazy parent plan that builds wealth while you sleep. But here's the crazy part. Most parents don't realize the difference between a child graduating with debt and one starting adulthood with tens of thousands already invested often comes down to a decision that takes less than 5 minutes. And the first step is almost ridiculously simple, but 90% of parents either delay it or never do it at all. Step 1. Open the secret account. The foundation of this plan is the RESP, the Registered Education Savings Plan. It's a government-registered account that grows tax-free and comes with free money in the form of grants. In British Columbia, you even get a $1,200 bonus just for opening it before your child turns 9. Lazy parents, this is your dream. You literally get paid to start. Think of it like planting a tree. You don't have to water it every day or obsess over it. You just plant it, and nature does the rest. The RESP is that tree. Once opened, it quietly grows in the background, collecting grants, earning returns, and building a foundation for your child's future. And here's the kicker. If your child doesn't use it all for school, the leftover money can roll into retirement accounts, meaning you've just given them a head start most adults only dream of. Now imagine the opposite scenario. Parents who procrastinate, who say I'll do it later, often miss the grant deadlines. By the time they finally open the account, they've lost years of compounding and thousands in free government money. That's why step 1 is non-negotiable. Lazy parents, you don't have to be perfect, you just have to show up once. Open the account and let the system do the rest. But opening the account alone isn't what creates real wealth. The real magic happens in step 2, and this is where the autopilot system truly begins. Step 2. Automate tiny contributions. Here's where the lazy magic happens. Set up an automatic transfer of $20 a month. That's it. No thinking. No remembering. No stress. And this tiny habit might be the single most underrated wealth move any parent can make. $20 is less than a family pizza night, but inside an RESP it snowballs into thousands. Add government grants and modest investment growth, and by age 18 your child could have nearly $10,000 waiting. Now let's play with the numbers. What if you bump it to $50 a month? That's $600 a year, plus $120 in grants, for a total of $720 annually. Over 18 years, with compounding, that grows to more than $30,000. And if you go to $100 a month, you're looking at nearly $60,000 by the time your child hits university. Lazy parents, this is the beauty of automation. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to budget every month. You just set it once and forget it. The best part? Automation removes human error. You don't forget, you don't procrastinate, and you don't sabotage yourself. The system does the heavy lifting while you focus on life. Lazy parents, this is your cheat code. But automation alone isn't what turns small money into massive wealth. The final step is what makes the numbers explode over time. You don't have to be disciplined every month, you just have to be disciplined once, when you set up the auto transfer. After that, the money moves itself, the account grows itself, and you barely notice the $20 leaving your wallet. Step 3. Let compounding do the heavy lifting. This is the part where lazy parents win big. Compounding is the ultimate autopilot engine. Every dollar you put in earns returns, and those returns earn more returns. And this is exactly why parents who start early can end up contributing far less money, while their kids still end up with far more wealth. Over decades, the growth curve explodes. What started as $20 a month becomes $100,000 or more by retirement. Here's the secret. Compounding doesn't care if you're lazy. It doesn't care if you forget about the account. It just keeps working. day after day, year after year. The earlier you start, the bigger the snowball gets, and the less effort you ever have to put in. That's why opening the account before age 5 is critical. It gives compounding the maximum runway to work its magic. Think of compounding like a snowball rolling downhill. At first, it's small, barely noticeable, but as it rolls, it picks up more snow, gets bigger, and moves faster. By the time it reaches the bottom, it's massive. That's your child's wealth. Lazy parents don't need to push the snowball every day, they just need to give it a gentle nudge at the top of the hill. Sounds simple, right? But let me show you what this actually looks like in real life. Real life example. Let's make this real. Sarah, a BC parent, opened an RESP when her daughter was born. She set up a $20 monthly auto transfer and never touched it again. By the time her daughter turned 18, the account had grown to nearly $10,000 thanks to grants and compounding. Her daughter earned scholarships, so most of the RESP remained untouched. Sarah rolled the leftover money into her daughter's RESP. In other words, the money meant for education quietly became the seed for her daughter's retirement decades before most people even start thinking about it. Fast forward to age 6 to 5, and that small, lazy decision had snowballed into more than $100,000. Sarah didn't hustle. She didn't trade stocks. She didn't stress. She just set it up once and let the system run. That's the power of lazy wealth building. And here's the emotional punch. Sarah's daughter grew up watching her mom model smart, simple money habits. She learned that wealth isn't about chasing every dollar. It's about setting systems that work for you. That lesson alone was worth more than the money in the account. Now imagine if every parent followed this simple system. Millions of young adults would enter the world with a financial head start instead of student debt and stress. Conclusion. So here's the truth. Building generational wealth doesn't require hustle, genius, or endless sacrifice. It requires opening the right account, automating small contributions, and letting compounding run on autopilot. Lazy parents, this is your cheat code. With 3 simple steps, you can give your child a future that rivals mansions, yachts, and fine art, all while barely lifting a finger. The only question is whether you'll take 5 minutes today to set it up, or let procrastination steal your child's tomorrow. Because the habits you model now will echo for generations. Lazy parents, you don't need to work harder to change your child's future. You just need to press start.